Hello, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to the Pine Camp Cultural Arts and Community Center. My name is Karen Davis, and I'm the Publicity Director for the Camera Club of Richmond. We're very pleased that one of our members has an exhibit here at Pine Camp, and we're going to go meet her in just a minute. But first, let's meet the
Art specialist.
This is Emily Dandridge. She's an art specialist here at Pine Camp, and we want to know a little bit more about the facility here. So tell us.
Well, welcome. Like you said, Emily Dandridge, Cultural Arts Program Specialist. Here at Pine Camp, we have a thriving arts center. On the whole left wing of our buildings are brand new dance studios and a really thriving dance program. Down the right side of our building are art studios and pottery studios and tapestry studios. And the reason you all are here today, and I'm so excited about it, is we also have a Spotlight Art Gallery where every month we feature a new local artist or artists if they want to make a collaborative show. Yeah, so we have this month we're featuring James Wilson and Perry Mathews, two lovely, lovely photographers. Right. Should we go see their work?
Let's go see.
Let's go. So welcome to our Spotlight Gallery. Over on this side we have Perry's photography featured. Over on this side we have James's photography featured. And it's a lovely, lovely contrast on the different halves of the room. I'm very excited that it's here.
Thank you. Looks great. All right. So tell me, Perry and James, how did you hear about Pine Camp, and how did you come to have your art here?
So I heard about Pine Camp because Emily actually reached out to me for art under the pines this past fall. It was an outdoor event, socially distanced, and she heard about me through Artworks, and I'm a member of Artworks, so it was a really good connection. And even though we live near here, we had never been here before. But we had a lovely time. And then after that, she asked if we would be interested in doing a show here in the gallery. And we said yes.
And it looks fabulous. And so James, you focus primarily black and whites?
Just this go around.
This go around, okay.
Yes.
All right. Now, Perry, I love the colors in this one. So what can you tell me about that photo?
So that is a photo of downtown Richmond. A couple of the buildings. I took that in the morning with all the reflections, and then did a little bit of editing, post taking a photo.
I like that.
Thank you.
Is that possibly the SunTrust building?
No, it's one of the others.
Okay.
But all of those buildings, the angles and the reflections are just fascinating, and I love walking around
Right.
and taking photos.
Right. Okay. And then what steered you toward abstract photography? Have you always been in this genre, or is this something new for you?
It has been a gradual progression. So when I first started taking photographs, it was just what I saw. There wasn't really an editing process at all. But I was really drawn to architecture, buildings, things that are unusual. And I started playing around with some free editing software to see what else I could do. And I really liked the outcome. And then, the more I got to play with it, the more I started fiddling around with, well, what else could I do? And that creative process just kind of evolved.
Okay. And when did you first pick up a camera?
About 10 years ago, and it was a little Nikon point and shoot, cool pics.
Okay.
And I seem to have a good eye for things, and then it just kind of went from there.
Okay. Yeah, super. Now, are you originally from Richmond?
I am originally from a really tiny town in Virginia, in Southern Virginia.
Uh-huh.
And then I lived in Williamsburg for quite a while. And I've lived here in Richmond for about 15 years.
So let's look at another one of your photos.
Okay.
And this one is very aptly named Angled because I love the geometry involved in this one. Is this another downtown Richmond shot?
It is not a downtown Richmond
Ah.
shot. This one is one of the trips that I took to New York City. So this, and of course, you know, the architecture in Manhattan just really speaks to me. And so taking a lot of photos, this one, as I was processing it at home, the angles, the reflections really had a almost three-dimensional quality, and it really spoke to me. So
And what time of day? Is this a morning shot?
this one is probably an afternoon shot. One of the things that I do is I take a lot of photos just walking around, and I'm not timing it to something specific. So I know a lot of photographers like need to take something at this specific time of the day. For me, it's more of that serendipitous moment of, oh, I like that. Let me take a picture. Let me see what I can do with it. So a little bit different from some folks that are into photography.
Okay. Well, very, very nice work.
Thank you.
Okay, and this one has intrigued me since I walked in the door because of the colors. Now, tell me the title and tell me what was your mood when you shot that picture?
So the title of this is Paris Gold, and I was in Paris. So I was in a really good mood. It was a beautiful sunny day. And when we walked into one of these open courtyards, you know, around the Louvre, there was this art exhibit or display in the middle of the courtyard, and it was all mirrors. And there were broken mirrors, if you will. And so those mirrors were reflecting the building itself, and then the building was reflecting the sun, and everything just kind of melded in together. And so I started snapping, photographs, because you can get the architectural effect, but you also get this abstract, kind of distorted mirror effect as well. And then you get this light, and that Parisian light.
Right.
it kind of all came together.
Fabulous. And the show here at Pine Camp is actually called 2 Points of View, because we have Perry's point of view over here with the lovely colorful abstracts, and we have her husband's point of view, James, over here with the beautiful black and white. So I'm standing in the middle between the 2 points of view. So let's invite James over so he can tell us a little bit about his photography. So James, what brought the idea for you two to do a dual show here?
It's just really convenient.
Okay.
We do see things very differently. Where she's more liking the abstract, I do prefer the more the realist. And as you can see, some of the others, abstract is her influence on me for that.
Aha. Okay. So the points of view are crossing a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
Oh, that's good. Okay. How long have you two been married?
34 years?
Okay. Yeah, that's great. So let's pick one of your favorite pictures and talk about that one. All right?
And that was tough. I'll leave with this one here. It is one of the realistic pictures I was asked a lot of times about how it was made. How did I position the flowers and get over it? It was actually a window scene in New York City.
Ah,
And it was just a spur of the moment. I saw it, liked it,
mhm.
got the shot.
And what's the title?
It's Bed of Roses.
Okay, very appropriate. All right. All right, let's go find another one.
And this one here is thinking of Plinsa, and if people are not familiar with Plinsa, the white face sculpture is outside the Virginia Museum. Is one of his works.
Okay.
And we happened to be in Savannah, and they had an exhibit of his sculptures. They're actually hanging from the ceiling. And this is the shadow on the floor. So for me, it's realism, but it's also very abstract.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so looking down at the shadows on the floor. Okay.
Right.
All right, and it begs the question, did you stand under and also look up and take that shot?
No, you could not.
Okay. Very interesting. Now, I like circles, so take a step backward and tell us a little bit about the spirals and the circles in this one.
This is where I got into the abstract aspect. Is with a simple window shot, but then just run it through some software to create the spiral effect.
Turn. And what's your title on that one?
This one is spiral.
It certainly is.
So it's not something I'm usually comfortable with, but it was fun to play with.
Okay. You know, I love the contrast. You know, it's a good sharp black and white. You've got lots of white areas and lots of black areas, and they work together very beautifully. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. And then behind you is this rushing water, I presume.
Yes.
Okay.
It is a shot that I've, again, it's realism, but it's one to actually work with the shutter speed to make that water flow effect. So I know a lot of photographers are familiar with how to do that. Again, it's something I normally wouldn't do, but actually took the time to do it.
It's all about experimenting and learning.
Right.
To go, exactly. So how long have you been shooting?
I've been back 44 years.
Okay.
So my problem is I learned on film, and trying to learn the digital world is a different way of thinking.
Definitely. So you made the switch, though. Well, now that we've seen the two different points of view, we wanted to bring them together to ask them, you guys apparently travel a lot, so are some of these pictures representative of trips that you've gone on together? I think I heard New York mentioned in a couple of the photos, so are they from a same trip that you guys were on together?
Yeah, these two right here.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's great. And like you said, two different points of view, same trip, and we love how that came together. Do you guys travel a lot?
We try. We haven't been able to because of the pandemic. But yes, we really do like to travel and try to do that as much as we can.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's some of the exotic places you've been?
Let's see. Our last exotic place, we went to Egypt.
Cool.
Yes, which was a fantastic trip. And then we've been to Singapore and Malaysia. We've traveled a few places in Europe. And there's still a lot of other places that we want to get to.
All right. So is there a job there that hinders all of this travel, or you guys do something? Yeah.
My job.
What do you do?
So I work for Capital One. I'm a risk manager.
Okay.
And this is my creative outlet.
There we go. How about you, James?
I'm retired.
Okay. So you could just travel if she would just retire.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is the plan, but I still have a few years to get it.
So Emily, thanks again for having us here today to film. And I understand that folks can come in and actually view this or see it online. So why don't you tell them how we can do that?
Yeah, so lots of options. So Perry and James are our featured artists for the month of February, so their work will be here at Pine Camp Spotlight Gallery up until the end of the month. If you want to see their work in person, all you have to do is call Pine Camp, and we can give you all a phone number for Pine Camp and say, hey, I want to come see 2 points of view, and they'll say, come on in. All you need to do is just make an appointment. If you aren't available to see the show in person, we have a virtual website, pinecampartgallery.com. And you can find all of their work uploaded. You can click onto the pictures, and it will tell you more information about title and the process behind it, as well as their biographies and ways to contact them if you're interested in purchasing a piece. But check back every month, because like I said, we have a new artist every month, and we're so hopeful to have more.
We're hoping.
Yes.
All right, we'd love to be back. All right, so thanks, Emily.
Thank you.